Hi, I'm Sherry Youngward. Welcome to the Quiet Place podcast. This is a place for you to come up for air anytime, day or night, and find a quiet moment of replenishment and rest. I am so glad you are here. If you'd like to hear about upcoming gatherings, new music, and online women's events, which I offer once a month, please join my email list. Also, if you'd like to help support this podcast through a one-time gift or through the gift exchange, which is a monthly support option where I in turn send you a monthly gift, thank you so much. Every little bit helps. It really, really does. You can do all these things at sherryyoungward.com. This is the 15th in a series called We Take Our Turns. I'm going through a book I wrote with that title, and I have to tell you, as I read preparing for this here episode, I had to laugh because though I wrote this book in 2017, when I opened the page to where we were going to land today, I just went through the exact same thing. I will, of course, explain more as we go. First, this episode is dedicated to Debbie and Joe. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. I don't realize I'm leaning too hard on a thing until it fails, and I fall with it. Today I got news I wasn't expecting. In parentheses, lab results. And it knocked the wind right out of me. I read this verse in the morning, and hoping for a little medicine, I read it again in the evening. Acknowledge means to recognize and know. This is not a nod of recognition, but an intimate knowledge of God. In all my ways, recognize and know Him. When I slip from recognizing and knowing Him, discontent and fear infiltrate. As I mentioned in the intro, I just relived this whole scene. I don't realize I'm leaning too hard on a thing until it fails, and I fall with it. Guess what? I leaned too hard on a thing. It failed, and I fell with it. Discontent, fear, and I'll throw in frustration infiltrated. I sometimes lean on my own understanding and I don't even realize it. Leaning on my own understanding may be in the form of searching and searching for answers on the internet. I'm realizing how many times those searches do nothing but add to my unrest. I know there's balance, but I let the balance shift and the weight went right back on my shoulders. Discontentment, fear, and frustration was the result. The ill-tasting fruit. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Lean, a verb meaning to lean, to rely, to support oneself. In its simplest meaning, it refers to leaning on things for support. Matthew Henry wrote, "We must trust in the Lord with all our hearts, believing He is able and wise to do what is best. Those who know themselves find their own understandings a broken reed, which, if they lean upon, will fail. It's not so much that we fail, it's that our own understanding fails us. Like a broken reed can't hold us up. We seek understanding. The algorithm knows what we seek and then feeds us all the cures. Often those quote-unquote cures are a broken reed with a large price tag. Isaiah 55 verses 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. I'm not saying don't look for help and cures, but if the fruit of the searching is the ill-tasting fruit of discontentment, fear, and frustration, you might need to shift the weight and secure your trust back to Him. It's part of this life we live, navigating between the flesh and spirit. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Nothing was easy about the path Jesus walked. The straight path is the one leading straight to Him. He is both the destination and the comfort along the way. He will make straight your paths. I recently, as in the present, read Psalm 37 verse 31 in the One Year Bible New Living Translation. They fill their hearts with God's law, so they will never slip from His path. After reading, I sent it to a friend. This particular friend has endured a lot on her path. Though things have taken a big turn for the better, there were decades of trial, and she is still recovering and healing. A few weeks ago, she said something like, I feel like so much of my life was wasted. It was something she said kind of under her breath, and we didn't really talk about it. But as I read this verse, they fill their hearts with God's law, so they will never slip from His path. I thought of her. I've known her a long time. I've known her in the trial. What struck me was how she kept showing up and filling her heart. She kept showing up to church, even coming early and serving, even when she was hanging on by a thread. She continued filling her heart with God's love and truth, and continued hanging around people who were showing up too. My friend forged a well-worn path to find living water. Even in her weakness, her root system was nourished, whether she felt it or not. Not one drop was wasted. It's not wasted on you either. Not one drop. Grief and trials may make our attention span meager. Sometimes we feast and sometimes we live on breadcrumbs, but God will fill the lack. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. David Gusick wrote, "This aspect troubles some because they fear there is some part of their heart that is not truly trusting God. We may sympathize with this concern, knowing that as imperfect people, it is impossible for us to trust in the Lord perfectly. In principle, we gather that Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6 does not describe an objectively perfect trust in God, but a heart and life that does not consciously reject or defy God with unbelief. Chuck Swindoll wrote, "I'm comforted when I realize God is in sovereign control of all life. He not only knows the times and the seasons, He is also the Lord of the unexpected and the unpredictable. That's why you can trust Him above and beyond how you see life, how you understand your lot. It's safe to say that not only your times are in His hands, but your trials are too, even when you feel embarrassed or confused by what has transpired. Whether you're on cloud nine enjoying His blessings or caught in the undertow of some complicated predicament, He hasn't let you go. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." I will read Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 and 25, 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 12, Psalm 139, verses 9 through 12, and Isaiah chapter 55, verses 8 through 11. So, take a nice deep breath and settle in while I read to you now. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light around me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is as bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. We don't know what to do, but our eyes are on you. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return there without watering the earth and making it bear and sprout, and furnishing seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so will my word be, which goes forth from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, without accomplishing what I desire, and without succeeding in the matter for which I sent it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths.